G'day guys and welcome, my name is Michael and I am the DeadAussieGamer and welcome to this very special product review of HeroForge's color print miniatures. Now, for those of you who have followed my channel, you would know that HeroForge has been incredibly kind and supportive and allowed for us to create a number of the new shows that we have produced on the DeadAussieGamer Twitch channel, including, of course, Minion Quest, which, of course, you can see up here, which is our D&D 5th edition adventure that follows the story of several monsters traveling through my homebrew setting of Alestria. Now, today we're going to be looking at the HeroForge miniatures that I got printed for that series and for the channel in a side-by-side comparison to the HeroForge website. Look, guys, as always, my channel has always been about honesty and being forward with everything that's come up. So this is as clear as a comparison as you are going to get in regards to what you get when you look at acquiring one of the HeroForge color print minis. Okay? Yeah? Cool. There's no color filters. There's no enhancing of it. As you can see from behind me, my green screen's not even active. So, you know, there's no iteration. Everything is what you see. Everything is, you know, just straight up. This here is the only thing I've done that's fancy. It's my little turntable. And as you can see, my turntable is a coaster with a fidget spinner attached to it. So that's all it is. You know, it's fine. Look, it's fine. It just does its thing. All right. Let's have a look at our first miniature. And the first miniature we're going to be looking at is none other than Brick the Barbarian from Minion Quest. Now, there he is right there. You know, taking a look at what we've got. So there, that is the miniature we got. Now, I loved Brick's mini. Honestly, the first thing I thought when I looked at this was, you know, everything about the model, every tiny detail, you know, you get precisely what you are getting. You know, every little kind of feature, every kind of like little like I mean, you can't really see too much, but on the hatchet, there's kind of like the leading lines that you can kind of see on the let me just zoom in here, that you can see right there. Those lines are actually still on the mini, and you can actually, with a very gentle wash, add and define those details in a lot more, you know, kind of definition. So you can see there very easily that while the shading and stuff like that isn't really as shadowed as the 3D model, yeah, literally a simple wash will get the exact result you need. It looks absolutely incredible. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge Brick's chicken. I mean, that was kind of put in as a gimmick because there was an episode where Brick, you know, got tarred and feathered and became Chicken Brick. So we gave Brick a piece of chicken. And my God, I cannot express to you enough how much the actual color that I made in the actual browser and how much the color here came perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It looks like fried chicken. I am so, you know, it almost looks like you could take a bite out of it. It looks that juicy and delicious. I really was impressed by that. As far as critical feedback goes, I mean, like, honestly, I think this is more of my fault than anything else. The color is great, but if you look at the at certain textures, like the cape, for example, or the backing, there's a little glimmer to it, and I think that's mostly because I used the wrong texture in the actual file. So this is not actually a cloth color that I used. It was actually, I think, a maybe a metal or a different one, and yeah, it came out a little bit shimmery, but you know, at the end of the day, I think that's just comes down to you know, sort of user rather than character thing. So let's just do another quick circle here and just have a look at that. That is just awesome. That is incredible. I'm very happy with that. So if I was giving, I mean, I'm not going to give these guys a rating. I feel like that cheapens it. But I will be honest, 100% honest, and I'm gonna go in a little bit here. Now, like with all minis, there is dangers. Anything with like a hookage appendage is always going to be at risk. So as soon as I got him packaged, fine, came to my house, fine. I got too excited and I accidentally snapped that off. But you know what? The snap was so clean that when I glued it together with just sanded super glue, there is no crack, there is no seam. You can't even tell it was ever broken, honestly. And that I think is a cool thing to know about these, is that if they do break, they're very easy to repair. Okay, so that was none other than Brick. We are now going to move to our next character, Manfred. Good old Manny, the Manticore Wizard. Now look at this guy here. Now I want to take a moment to really kind of appreciate this. Now Manfred, I wanted to really play around and test different gradients and like how different colors work. Now the camera doesn't really showcase this too well because obviously I need light in order to give you as much detail as possible. But the actual white that I used for Manfred's beard is not a straight white, but more of a cream white, which you can see there. And honestly, it just creates such a depth in this mini. This was actually, maybe if I shadow it. Hold on, let me shadow that. That's a little bit better. I mean, maybe you can kind of see that when the light's not directly at it. Yeah, you can actually see there's the definitions and the ridge lines from the beard, and that off-white, especially along the top of his head. Yeah, no, they were just, it was just absolutely incredible looking. I was very surprised at that. Yeah, Manfred was a fantastic mini, and I think another really cool thing was looking at the bleed effect on the wings. So here you can actually see I've got like an orange at the top, and then it sort of bleeds down into the red. And that's exactly what it does on the mini. At such a small scale, that is crazy impressive. You probably noticed that the staff itself has the glowing orb. Now, let's be honest here. There's no way the orb is going to glow that way, nor is the sunglasses going to reflect in that same way. But the lightness of it, the opacity to it, actually does give it kind of that look. And with a very sheer, kind of like just a tiny bit of translucent gloss, you can definitely create that effect without too much trouble. So yes, Manfred, roaring success. Didn't break because I was careful after I broke Brick. But another thing I wanted to point out with this one, and I mean I guess Brick had it too, was the basing. Oops! Oh god, I'm shifting everything around. There we go. The basing was absolutely fantastic, and I just love the textures and just the ridge lines. It just feels nice. It looks nice. This miniature here is like, it's so hard to believe these are customized. These very much are, and I know I'm dropping this. Oh, I said I'm not gonna break it, but I'm not. The fact that these are custom miniatures and stuff, really do. It just blows my mind. Blows my mind the way the world has come full circle on minis, and we can do stuff like this now. Okay, next up, probably one of my favorite basings is none other than Ray. Take a look at that now. Now this is really cool and displays, I suppose, a multitude of different things. Now, the first is, again, like I said, with those ridge lines, I know you can't really see it. Let me try darkening it. No, you can't see it. You'd see it's even worse. Okay. So in her chest cavity, which, I mean, I don't really want to zoom in on her boobs, but, there are those ridge lines, those skeletal kind of veins. And again, as I said, a simple wash will bring out those features very, very clearly, which is what you really want to go with. The base was incredible. Like, they actually got those purple lines in. There's actually a ridge in there that you can actually see like tiny little nail holes like here and there. And the candles look absolutely amazing. I'm really glad I went with the pink bow at the back just to add that splash of color. Looks and feels really, really nice. And yeah, once again, same thing with that glow. The glow effect is fantastic, but there's a certain reasonableness to what you should expect when it comes to those glowing effects. They're not going to put LEDs in your mini, nor should they. Now, if we kind of take a look at the facial features, now you can kind of see that there's the lipstick, the nose, the eyebrows and stuff like that. The eyes on this one were actually pretty good for what I thought they would end up with. Obviously with something like Brick, let me just pull Brick back up real quick. You know, it's very subtle. And with his very, very wide and broad face, you know, the colors are very defined and very clear, including, of course, the piercings on his eye. Whereas she has very pale features with very dark eyebrows and the like. You know, it kind of ate a little bit of the eye away, but still very clear, still very, you know, still very good. Still absolutely fantastic. Phenomenal. All right. The next one is probably my biggest critical analysis of the HeroForge minis, and that is none other than good old that's Sticky Fingers, Thaddeus Valiance. Now, Thaddeus Valiance came out like this, which let's start with this. The model is the model make, the actual build again is exactly what you get, like precise to a T. There is no doubt in my mind that all the details, all the colors, and that have gone exactly where they need to. Even the wooded grain on the actual shield itself. Let me see if that'll work. Yeah, actually that works a little bit. So you can see kind of the wood grain there is still very, very clear, and that's all just amazing. The thing that I didn't think was that amazing was obviously, as you can see on the HeroForge thing, is the very light silver. Now on here it's come across very white, large patterns of white that have been kind of splashed with a little bit of glitter for the shoulder pads, and that is probably the only thing that I would say was, you know, kind of a little disappointing. I was hoping that it was going to be kind of that silvery kind of paint, but instead it came across a lot more white. I would caution anyone who wants to make a person in armor, choose darker color armors, because as you can see, the boots came out super nice. The back of his boots also came out really nice. Even the skirting actually came out really good. But I used a very, very pale silver for the neck, chest, and shoulders, and that's where it's kind of fallen down a little bit. So yeah, it's a good way to kind of see the different effects of the metal. But yeah, all in all, I think Thaddeus was a roaring triumph. Yes, he was. All right, now onto my favorite figurine. This is, I say this is my favorite because he's also one of my favorite characters. Is none other than Sticky Fingers. Now, this was just gold. Like, this was just absolutely mind-blowingly good. The model itself is perfection. It is, like, if you told me it was like a limited edition, special, like, kind of thing, I would wholeheartedly believe it. The details are crazy good, and because the frog has such large details, like in the eyes and stuff like that, they just come across so clear and so perfect in this. The pose is very dynamic, and the great thing about it is the actual model itself is very well centered and very very stable. It's not like, if you look on the 3D model here, it's kind of held up by the back of his ankles and like on his tippy toes. It looks like it should be a lot more unstable, but it actually isn't. It does not feel like it's in any kind of precarious position. Plus the actual basing looks amazing, especially with this. This is rotten wood, by the way, if you ever want to try making this. Rotten wood on the plank basing, that is now my favorite. Oh, and while I was talking about stances and stuff, so let me just go back to Ray real quick. So as you can see here on Ray's model, I intentionally put her on her tippy toes, which you can see kind of there, because talking about Sticky Fingers got me thinking about it. So that looks like a structure that isn't gonna sort of hold up a mini, right? So I was very curious about what they do with that, and here is what they did. I hope you can see that, but for the most part, there's still the very clear, defined part of the foot, but right at the back of the foot, you can see they've kind of left the strut in with the same color that I used. I did change the color from the pink to the blue, so you know that's fine. But those struts keep her standing upright, and unless you're really looking at it, you don't notice it. But I think it's smart on that in that way, because basically, if they sent me, you know, Senor Tipitos, and she broke, you know, that's really disappointing. Whereas this is like, well, you know, cool. I've got like these, you know, kind of like high heel looking things, but at the same time, I know what they're doing and I know what it is, and unless I really look, it doesn't bother me at all. So I like that one. All right, so those are the Minion Quest characters, which was very, very exciting. Now, I've got a couple more characters here that I commissioned off on the side. So, the first character, of course, is an iconic character from my channel, and that is none other than the ever-infamous person who started everything, and that is Mutaroo. Now, Mutaroo is my chung, or a yak folk, as well as a kabuki dancing cow person warrior. This was a awesome miniature. This was actually the first miniature STL I bought from HeroForge. I never got to print him well because I wasn't really a good 3D printer, I'm gonna be honest. So I kept trying, but I couldn't get him done right. And seriously, in one go, they have captured just this absolutely incredible character with such vibrant colors. As mentioned, like the greens and stuff like that, I'm always kind of curious about because, you know, you've got the glass tones and stuff like that. So I tested it out on the staff. So the staff has got crystal on the front, a regular green in the middle, and like this kind of glowing green on the back. So if you have a look here, you can actually see the definition, and there's almost like you can see the crystal. You can sort of just hang on. Let me try this again. No, that doesn't work. I don't know. No light worked on Manfred. I thought it might work. Anyway, you can kind of see there there's like this kind of like thin line of dark green that like really makes that blade pop. Then in the middle, you've got the regular green, which is that kind of dull faded green, and then you've got that glowing, almost glassy green. And, you know, it really does have a bit of a shine to it as well. So I was a very big fan of everything that's happening here. You got to see all the textures and how they interacted with each other. But again, I once again got a little too excited. And alas, poor Mutaroo had an injury and I broke one of his horns. That's, again, not a HeroForge thing. That's me. But one thing I could always recommend is watch out for horns. Also, if you've got a hat, just FYI, don't forget to paint underneath the hat if you wish to add color to it. I did forget to do it. But yeah, that was Mutaroo, and I like I said, absolutely love him. Now, another character from another series that I did was the Undertaker. He is kind of like this boogeyman-ish character. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just wanted to see the wings. The wings, so these are the extra large HeroForge minis. They do cost a little bit extra because they are quite big, but I want you to appreciate just how magnificent these wings are. Look at that. So let me move. Ah, God, why? Sorry. Oh, God, there we go. Okay. So let me show you just how magnificent these wings are. These are absolutely incredible and just look phenomenal. They are easy on the eyes. They're super nice to touch. And the model looks great. The only thing is, again, with this, maybe it's just with this hat, but this one did eat the eyes. Like, I can't see anything of the eyes, but then again, you can barely see anything of the eyes from the model either. So, you know, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, haha, because he's an angel. Get it? No. Yeah, you can see kind of got the green eyes there, and as we spin around, you can kind of see it's just absolutely spectacular. The skull was actually really good. There was another detail I wanted to check in on was, you know, just how much definition you can get in the different whites. And yeah, I got exactly that. I got a whole bunch of different whites for the teeth, make it really sort of pop and stand out. And they actually darkened the inside of the eyes, which I wasn't sure if they'd do that either, but no, it came out that way and looks absolutely stellar. All right, next up, of course, is a fan favorite for the channel, one of the most illustrious members of my team, in fact, the only other member of my team, is the editor. Look at that. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Now, editor is great. I love Eddie. Eddie is my Twitch stream editor. He, you know, keeps me live. He makes sure I don't have too many tech issues. So we built a miniature for Eddie. Now, as you can see, like a lot of the glowing colors, again, we didn't really get the vibrancy that we get in the 3D model. But, you know, honestly, again, now that I have that expectation, I know what I'm buying. I know what I'm in for. I wouldn't steer clear of them, but I would definitely just keep that in mind as you go. Now, here's one thing that I did notice on this model. The little hands-up display that he's got, as you can see on this side of it, it's got a very white tone, and then on this side, it's got a very silver tone. That's because, again, once again, I used a very bright silver, which you can kind of see there for the console, and it's taken to one side but not the other. I think that could just be part of the printing process. So another thing I would definitely urge is make sure that whatever you have for the character that is close to the body or might be like in a pocket, I guess, don't necessarily go too overboard with colors in and around that sort of area. You know, keep them simple, keep them easy. Or open up your model to have a more wider stance. But yeah, so that is the editor. Love the editor. Love everything that happened with him. He's so cool. All right, and the last one that I'm going to leave you with, none other than yours truly, the DeadAussieGamer. Now, the DeadAussieGamer came out so nice. You know, as you can see, there's numbers on the dice themselves. The colors were a little bit muted, but you know what? I love the grungy, dirty look. And the mimic was just absolutely beautiful. Like, I could not have been happier. The little subtleties of like the blood on the bone, you know, kind of you can see, especially around the neck area. So let me zoom in there. You can see like this reddish kind of hue, and you can kind of see that on his hands and on his neck. That all stuck in. And yeah, once again, just another nice little wash, and I think that will be an absolute banger. Glowing eyes again. It can't have LEDs, but yeah, it's still got that lovely pale blue that you can see there for his eyes. So yeah, there you go. We have our illustrious team of characters that we have gotten from HeroForge. Again, HeroForge is an absolutely fantastic product, especially if you're someone like me who plays in a lot of games, or someone who really does want to kind of bring that sort of unique sense of your characters to life on your board. You know, definitely take the time to you know, play around with it and see if HeroForge is indeed for you, because if it is, then yeah, I completely and utterly stand by the fact that these miniatures are well and truly worth the effort, worth the cost, and 100% worth your time. Oops, don't fall, don't die. And 100% worth your time playing around on this thing, because even if you don't want to get the miniatures, you can still use them for a whole bunch of things. You can use them for character art. You can use them for tokens. You can use them for, you know, if you're like me and lonely and don't have many friends, you can talk to them and be like, hello, Sticky Fingers, how you doing? Oh, I'm okay. You know, you probably shouldn't be talking to yourself. You're probably talking to a counselor, so you could maybe get some help and find some real friends. What do you know, Sticky Fingers? All right. Just you're off the panel now. There you go. All right. So anyway, that's me, guys. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. I had an absolute awesome time. Let me know in the comments below if what you guys think, and if you would like indeed to see more videos like this, or if you want HeroForge to keep giving me stuff, yeah, just let me know in the chat. Let me know. We do have a new series coming up very, very soon called The Winds of Wilderan, which is a follow-up of Minion Quest. So do stay tuned for that. We are going to hopefully broadcast that on YouTube. So we will hopefully be seeing you all then. Till next time, guys, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone!